Hello, and thanks for tuning in to What's My Tagline? I'm your host, Carol Flagg. On this show, we put our microphone in front of a variety of industry experts to hear their journeys and their roles in healthcare marketing, sales, social media, and PR. Along the way, we'll glean from our guests some insights, ideas, and best practices to share with you. You can follow me on Twitter at Carol Flagg and learn more about the show on the program page on HealthcareNowRadio.com. And be sure to follow the station on Twitter at HCNow Radio and stream us live 24/7 by asking Siri or Alexa to play Healthcare Now Radio. My guests today are two friends of mine from the health IT marketing and PR agency Anderson Interactive. Jennifer Jennings and Tom Testa are both vice presidents at the company and are the dynamic duo behind the show Overrated and Underused that airs on our Healthcare Now Radio. Jen, Tom, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Carol. We're excited to be here.
Thanks, Carol.
It's actually been a long time coming. You know, your lead guy, your head guru, your man, Dave Anderson was actually my very first guest on the first episode of What's My Tagline.
Yeah, that's so funny. I do remember I actually helped him kind of prepare his tagline for the show. I couldn't tell you what it is right now, but I wish I knew it off the top of my head. But
so his tagline was your tagline, not his tagline?
Well, no, I wouldn't go that far. He's got his own great ideas.
Was it "Thank God I Have Jennifer"? Was that his tagline?
It might have been that. Like you can't be successful without the people behind you or something like that.
That's right.
If it wasn't that, we'll just have him on for a new episode, and that can be his future tagline.
Yeah, but see
now
you've outed him that he couldn't even come up with his own tagline. That's
you're putting words in my mouth. We're starting this off.
Starting off very poorly. Okay. Well, then I'm going to move right into it. Since my first question of all my guests is if you had to describe yourself as a tagline, and hopefully it's a tagline that you each came up with on your own. Please share with us. And well, Jen, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, it is a tagline that I came up with on my own. I spent a long time thinking about this, but not really. I think it's just something that I like to talk about a lot, especially when it comes to the business side of PR and marketing and just any type of client relationship. So I think my tagline is authenticity over everything.
Oh, nice.
And I think that it really just comes, I love to, anytime we're talking about our agency, I feel like a good adjective is authentic in that, and just me personally, I feel like that's any type of relationship, whether it's, personal, business, coworkers, being authentic to yourself, to your brand, to, just being authentic. It takes some, vulnerability and just being, but I think it really shows the integrity of, we're not just smoke and mirrors. We're not just telling you what you want to hear. We're giving you, our real opinions and, advice, whether that's, kind of what you want to hear or not, trying to help steer the ship in the right direction.
Right. We're not going to just tell you what you want to hear. Right. That's a great business practice. And Tom, what about you? Fellow New Englander.
Yeah, right. So this was hard. I mean, it's funny because I'm in the field of promotion, but I'm terrible at self-promotion. I really am. I say that humble, like I just, so here it is. Ready? Okay. But still, let's get ready because we got to catch it.
Okay, I better sit down. Okay.
You know what? You don't need to put your finger on the dump button or anything like that. It's going to be all clean language here, Carol. Don't you worry. So, here it is. Okay. Tom Testa, the Swiss Army knife of healthcare PR. But no, look, now see, here's the thing. I feel that tagline fits not because I'm probably best served buried at the bottom of some junk drawer or even left behind deep in the woods after a long hiking trip or something like that, because I do think people would miss me. Maybe Jennifer would miss me. I don't know, someone would. But I think it's because, I take, I've been in the industry for over 20 years, and I take great pride in the experience I gathered. So in working in several other sectors, I haven't been in healthcare IT for my entire career. I've been in it for about 3.5, 4 years, right? But before that, I felt that my diverse background has in other PR sectors has brought a lot to healthcare IT. For example, I've worked for, former business CEOs, for university presidents, infectious disease labs. I've even done PR for former mayors who used to be, showcased in the national spotlight. So I think bringing that experience, everything from speech writing to crisis communication to media relations on a national level, I think all that experience is a great asset, I hope, for healthcare clients that we bring every day. So that's kind of what I think my tagline would be. And I think it's best serves, what I bring each day to our clients.
Right. You need this little tool, you need that little tool. We can pull it out. We can make Swiss Army.
I think so, right?
So
or
funny.
Worst case, you give it to my kid when they're old enough, and that's it.
Yeah,
hopefully
they're good to go.
That's it.
That's so funny because Jen's is like super highbrow and just really like crystal clear. It's just like that authentic voice and being truthful with your clients and your team, your business partners. And you're like, nope, go camping, going to bring the Swiss Army knife. We're going to make it happen. And part of that is just, we're talking about this a little bit. Part of the charm of your show, Overrated and Underused, on our organization is this duality of regions that you come from and your personalities, Jen coming from the South and living in Georgia and this is obviously, audio, but if you meet her in person, she's just like the cutest thing ever. And then Tom is from New England with that, sort of New England sensibility. And I part of, and we're going to talk about your show in a bit, but part of the real charm of that show is those two personalities and the divergent backgrounds that you bring to the table.
So Tom, are you offended that she didn't describe you as the cutest thing ever?
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird.
That is weird.
I was waiting for the whole, Jennifer's cute as a button, and Tom, well, he's from Boston. What? Anything? Any descriptor? We can edit it out. Talk to us, Carol. Tell them what give them the and he's got a face made for radio.
Tom is wicked awesome. There you go.
I love it. No, but I think that, I definitely agree with you, Carol. I think, Tom and we think we're pretty funny and we entertain ourselves more than anything. So hopefully other people do on the radio too. But no, it's always a good time when we record. We probably talk for, another hour beyond what our radio episode actually ended up being.
True.
That is so funny. Then should at some point you should take all those recordings and you should do your outtakes. As one of your episodes.
Oh yeah.
Funny story. We actually have done outtakes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Ringtones and Lacey, who does our editing, is actually great and put together some funny clips. But I don't know if they're like radio friendly or not.
No.
Oh, that's funny. You could do them as we could air them in between shows. They could be like outtakes from Overrated and Underused.
Yeah. there's plenty of them.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey and your road to the agency. We've been friends of yours for a number of years now, and work with you guys, and so which is a real privilege for us. But I think you do have, and Tom's already alluded to it, sort of different paths that got you there to Anderson Interactive. So Tom, I'll start with you. So you mentioned that you've been in health IT just the last 3 or 4 years.
That's right.
Was that when you started with Anderson Interactive?
Yeah, that was when I first joined the agency. Was about 3.5, 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
And before that, so again, Dave and I'm sure Jennifer talked a little bit, like we kind of all have known each other in some way. I worked with Dave probably about 15, 20 years ago at an agency up in Providence, Rhode Island.
Wow.
And that's how we knew each other. We first knew each other working for an agency up here. They were more in the the tech, it was during the .com booms, and then it went boom. But
yeah.
But yeah, so
I remember it fondly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. It was scary.
It was scary. It was scary.
It was like, oh, we're all doing so good, and oh my goodness, we don't have jobs. Like it was insane. So then from there, I jumped into the higher ed scene, and that's where, I up at Boston University, and that's where I really learned a lot, because again, I wasn't just working for a university. I was working for, colleges within a university, for administrators, for the president, for, everyone and everything, the research they put out. So that's where I got some of my healthcare background too, because there was health tech going on there, and innovation and everything related to healthcare and technology, and some of the bigger, the School of Public Healths and the engineering schools and things like that. So I had done that for about 14 years and headed up the department there. And then Dave called me one day and said, get your suit on, we need you. And so that's it. It was great. It was a great opportunity, honestly. And Jennifer was there, and a couple of my other colleagues were there at the time. And he said, we're trying to continue to build something good here, and would love to see if you're interested in joining us.
Yeah, he's sneaky that way, He really.
Look at this.
Scouting the best talent from
right. We talked about ghostwriting and poaching. That's what Dave's all about.
He really is. No, really, he's really good at both. That's really scary. He would have made it. He would have made an awesome, like a spy recruiter or something.
He would.
Yeah, exactly. He probably is actually. Probably does do that. And Jen, I actually know more your story just over the years. Drinking in the bars with you, which proud to say.
That's my story.
Proud to say that, and she,
You just summed up my whole life, just drinking in bars.
Right there. There's more to it than that.
Yeah. So
how did Dave Anderson poach you?
Well, funny story. That actually kind of happened.
Yeah.
So I've been with Anderson Interactive going on 7 years this fall. And before that, Dave and I worked together at another health IT agency. And then he left, and I was still there a few years, but we worked together for 5 years probably. And we just worked really well together. So then when I was leaving that place, he kind of just approached me and was like, I really want, things are picking up, and I, love to have you come join me. And so that's what happened. And that's, it's been great since, but even before then, so I've been in healthcare IT, PR, and marketing for a dozen years. But before then, I got my start in residential real estate PR.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. I mean, I knew you'd been in health. We've had this conversation about, we've been in health IT about the same time, because we started High Tech Answers in 2009. So I know, we've had about the same number of years, which I knew, but I did not know you were in real estate before that. That's funny.
Yes, residential real estate PR. And you want to talk about that was when the housing market crashed.
Yeah.
This was 2006 and 7 and 8. And so that was basically kind of what happened to that career. And I said, I want to find an industry that's more stable. And I landed in healthcare. So
welcome to healthcare and health IT.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So talk a little bit about your show, because that's really what I want to talk to you about today. And for our listeners who are unfamiliar with the show, Overrated and Underused runs on HealthcareNow Radio. You can tune into it Monday through Friday and check out their program page for the times on healthcarenowradio.com. And obviously, we've been working with Anderson Interactive and on various guests and appearances and all that for our 16 radio shows that we have on our station. But Overrated, Underused, you guys came to us and said, we have this idea for a show. So tell our audience about the show, what the concept is, and what you guys talk. I mean, I know what you talk about each episode, but for their benefit. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of just, we really wanted to, as an agency, do more with putting out content in some way. And had a blog, and it's just like the thought of kind of tying ourselves down to this blog, and everybody, I feel like everybody's kind of doing a blog. So
Yeah,
and that was actually our very first episode.
Yes, it was. Blog or not to blog? That is the question. I remember it.
So really we just wanted to find a creative way to put content out. And so we thought about doing a podcast, but then we really just wanted to leverage, HealthcareNow Radio's network, and just kind of get our thoughts out there, and thought it would be a unique take in, we say these things to our clients, when we're counseling them on these specific projects on, I just don't think a blog's the right move, and blah, blah, blah. But I think universally, like, putting those perspectives out there for, maybe people that aren't working with agencies or haven't, really, it's just a different perspective. Like, maybe they have an agency that's telling them something different, or, it's just, working with internal health IT, their internal marketing departments. And it's just, we're just kind of talking about, we really debate, things that are overused or overrated in healthcare marketing and PR, and things that are underused and should be done more often or in better ways. So each episode kind of explores just different tactics.
Yeah.
I think too, it's kind of like one of those things where, as a publicist, you may sit there and, like kind of Jennifer was saying, is you say, well, I have some news, and I have to do a press release, and maybe I have to blog about it, and I have to throw it on social media, the news. But we kind of make you take a step back, and before you start to really strategize and then implement, we say, are those the best vehicles for that news or that piece of content? So it shouldn't always be textbook. And I think that we take a look at that and say, maybe this is a better platform, or even things like, look, does your organization really need a Facebook page? Just because everyone's using something like that. And Jennifer and I debated, and, sometimes we take a contrarian view, and other times, we seem to even agree on certain things together on the show, as you'll see. Like, we both would say, yeah, this is probably not the best vehicle in this case. So I think that's what we're trying to do, is just make people think, so that it's not just the same old. It helps keep publicists and marketers fresh with new ideas and better approaches to how they promote content, their experts, their company, et cetera, their events, things like that.
Yeah, I think that notion that, don't do it just because everybody else does it, right. Because, that really gets back to, like, even Jen, your tagline about having an authentic voice. Do you know what I mean? It's like, be authentic to what your company's about and who your customers are, and don't do something just because you think your competitors are doing it if it's not right for your messaging and what you're trying to gain from the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would probably be shocked, but maybe not, about, how many people really do. I saw so-and-so doing this, and should we be doing this? And that's a great conversation to have, but the point is, just because they are does not mean that's, there's a lot of differing factors.
Right. And for those of people who are listening to this who are unfamiliar with the show, to my knowledge, because I'm pretty sure I've listened to every episode, as a general rule, Jen, you take the overrated side of the debate, and Tom, you take the and Tom, you take the underused side of the debate.
I think that's fair, right? Jen, would you agree?
We didn't start out with that in mind. We originally said, well, maybe let's not tie ourselves to it, just so, there's not like a good cop, bad cop. But I think just naturally, maybe I fell into this is overrated role. So maybe that says more about my personality than anything, but I don't know.
Well, it's so funny. It's like, that is a good point, and it again kind of talks a lot about your background, you know what I mean? Jen, you've been in this, health IT space for 12 years now, and Tom, obviously 3 and 4, but, you're like, I've seen everything, I've done everything, we've been involved in things, and trust me, don't spend so much time and effort on this because perhaps it is a little overrated. And Tom, you're the Swiss Army knife. You're underused. I can find a utility to make that better.
Right.
Need a wine bottle opener. He's got it.
If your Swiss Army knife has a wine bottle opener, Jen and I are in. Just FYI. Yeah.
You got it. I'm there for you.
So,
but
the debate. Right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think it is just how it turned out. You're right. And I think as we go forward too, depending on the topic, because there's some topics I think that are, going to be maybe true to Jennifer's heart and true to my heart as things. So I think that also develops which side we might go on. Because certainly I think each in our daily, as we work on the agency side, there's certainly things that Jennifer utilizes more than I do. And vice versa. So she may have a stronger opinion about that. So as future shows go on, I don't know, that role may change a little bit.
Yeah. So speaking of the future, I'm just curious, how far out do you start developing a list of topics, or is it more, sort of, I know it's not in the moment as you plan a show, obviously, but are you like crafting topics for like, the next 3 or 4 months, or is it, things happen and things come up, and so that kind of changes what you're going to be dealing with? I mean, obviously COVID has changed everybody's world, including yours and mine and the agency. But I was just curious about that.
Yeah, we don't plan as far in advance as we would like, but we actually have sat down and kind of tentatively outlined the rest of the topics for the year. Yeah. COVID did change a lot.
Yeah.
So we had some topics, like we thought we were going to do our next one, and then it just didn't make sense in that moment. So we kind of, move some things around in our schedule, but always if we like come up with a really great idea, we'll do it. But the planning pretty much is the month before. So
yeah. And then
we haven't recorded August yet, and so we're mid-July, but that one's going to be a great one. Here's on design debates. So,
you're giving us a teaser. I like that.
Look at that.
I like that. Design trends. Now, when you say design trends, you mean like web and logo and collateral, or?
Well, I think we're actually one of future topics will be more website focused, but this is more design. Overrated things that people do when they're designing graphics or collateral, and
I love that. Yeah.
It's more, it'll be an interesting debate because Tom and I are not designers, but we work with designers, and so we're not the ones actually using the InDesign, but we know what we like on the outside and what
sure and what speaks to you. I mean, everybody has that, when you see it often. I mean, there've been several big organizations in the last year or so that have had redesigns of websites, like big ones, and you go then you go, ooh, you go, oh, it's like,
oh, you did that, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Who thought of that? But you're right. You have to be flexible with it. You're obviously doing a show related to perhaps event planning right now is not, going to be happening of a pandemic. So you also tell us another part of your show that I love is Adrian's Corner. So tell us who Adrian Stoner is and what Adrian's Corner is about.
Yeah, Adrian joined, and I'm glad because she would at this point in the show probably be steaming, knowing that we didn't mention Adrian. So I was like,
well, I have my notes.
So I was, but no, Adrian joins us every weekend. So Adrian is the social media guru for our agency.
Yes.
She handles a lot of the social media accounts for the Anderson Interactive clients. And every episode she joins us, interjects, of course, some of that awesome humor that we all have on the show, but takes a mailbag if you will. So there's like, you have your social media questions for, you can send them via social media, hit her in her, mailbox, things like that. And then she reads them each episode. So, and it ranges everything from, should I be using Facebook for this to what's the latest and greatest social media platform that we should be thinking about. So yeah, and actually this last, I think the episode that's airing right now, Jennifer, am I right? This is the one where we actually had Adrienne join us for a full-on show on social media, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think part 2 of we talked for so long about social media that we had to break it up into 2 different episodes. So that worked out well. We knocked 2 out at one time, but yeah, that was great to have her for the whole episode. But
she expanded her role.
Yeah.
Yes, and she's vying for somebody's job. So
right.
It may be the Just Adrienne Stoner Hour.
It might be.
Adrienne's Corner show. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It could be a spinoff. Who knows? Who knows what 2021 will bring?
Hey, that's a media thing, right? Spinoffs, and we could. Hey, we will find a room. We'll find room. We'll kick another show off if Adrienne wants her own show. We'll kick one of our shows off. So. Well, I want to thank the 2 of you for talking with me today. Again, you're good friends, and I've missed not engaging in person with you with the COVID pandemic this year. But maybe in 2021, we can share some laughs over some wine in a bar, which is our kind of our thing.
I hope so. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely ready for all of that.
Yeah. And before I sign off, tell our listeners where they can learn more about Anderson Interactive and you two.
Yes. Well, you can definitely check out Overrated and Underused on HealthcareNow Radio. And you can learn more about Anderson Interactive at AndersonI, that's the letter I.com.
Got it. You guys are great. And I will see you in a bar, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Soon.
Yeah. We're bar friends.
Absolutely.
One day.
One day. You can learn more about this show by visiting HealthcareNowRadio.com, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at Carol Flagg and the station at HC Now Radio. Have an idea for this show? Connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a note and I'll respond. Until next time, I'm Carol Flagg, and I want to know, what's your tagline?